Hey guys, this is EJ Holland with the Wolverine.com. I am the recruiting reporter there, so cover everything Michigan recruiting. This is the first episode of Trail Talk, where I talk about a topic that I'm really passionate related to Michigan recruiting. It doesn't always have to be where Michigan stands with so-and-so. It can be anything. So today's episode is really going to focus in on Dante Moore. If you don't know who Dante Moore is, chances are you don't follow Michigan recruiting, because he is the most important target for Michigan next cycle. He is an elite 2023 quarterback out of Detroit King, and one of my favorite recruits, not just because I really like him as a person, but because I think he is a phenomenal prospect. When you look at Dante Moore, you look at his rankings, he's the number 35 overall prospect in the country on Rivals, number 16 overall prospect on the composite. But I still feel like Dante Moore is getting disrespected, and I don't get it. His ranking makes it seem like he's not, but we're not. Nobody is talking about Dante Moore in the same category as Malachi Nelson and Arch Manning, and it makes no sense. Absolute zero sense. Dante Moore should be right up there with those guys. He is a tremendous five-star talent. I have him graded higher than I did JJ McCarthy, and everybody knows how much I love JJ. He checks all the boxes. Literally everything. Ball placement, one, is something that stands out to me the most about Dante Moore. I mean, his touch on his deep balls, tremendous. From a ball placement standpoint, Dante's probably the best I've seen other than Bryce Young. 2, arm strength. He can put it wherever he wants. 3, mechanics. He's been the starter at Detroit King since he was a freshman. He lives and breathes the quarterback position. He works nonstop with former Michigan quarterback Devin Gardner in the offseason. Has no mechanical flaws. Footwork, former soccer player, tremendous footwork in the pocket, and then just that playmaking ability. Whether he's rolling to his right or his left, he can make on-point throws on the run, and he can run the football. He doesn't love to do it, but he's athletic enough to not only extend plays, but really make plays when running the read option or quarterback keeps or whatever the case is. I mean, he has some wheels. He just doesn't always use it. But I mean, just from a pure football player standpoint, from a pure evaluation standpoint, Dante Moore is a five-star prospect. There's no argument in my mind. You cannot change my mind. I've covered some great quarterback prospects, including the guy I just mentioned, Bryce Young, who just lit it up at Alabama this weekend. And I would grade Dante Moore right up there with a guy like Bryce Young. He needs to be in the same conversation as Malachi Nelson and Arch Manning. What else do you want from this guy? In game, again, he's entering his third year as a starter, and he's just a junior. So far this season, Dante Moore has thrown for more than 700 yards in 2 games against some pretty good competition. He went out to Indianapolis against Carmel, which is a pretty good program in that area, lit them up for 400 yards. Then this past weekend, he played against Mona Shores, which won a state title, I believe, a couple of years ago, lit them up for 300. Camps, he went out to Rivals and completely dominated, earned an invitation to the 5-star challenge. He went to the Elite 11 regional in Los Angeles, not the Indianapolis regional, which would have been the Midwest regional. He decided to go to Los Angeles so he could throw side by side with Malachi Nelson. Dominated, was the best quarterback there in my opinion. Got over some early session jitters, came back, led the quarterbacks through all the drills. He was in the same group as Malachi Nelson, led the group. He was the first one in line, always asking for extra help. He made all the throws too. When they did that gauntlet, I thought he was pretty much perfect. And still somehow Malachi Nelson was given the award for best quarterback there, I guess. But in my opinion, Dante Moore was the best quarterback there. And this is not a knock on Malachi Nelson. Like I said, I've seen Malachi a couple of different times, and I fully believe that Malachi Nelson is a 5-star prospect as well. This is more a Dante Moore respect video. He needs that respect. So like I said, camps, he did that. Games, he's done it. Intangibles, I mean, you cannot find a better kid. This is a guy that, again, has been a 3-year starter at King. He commanded the respect of his teammates as a 14-year-old and still does. I mean, his teammates absolutely love him. When he talks in interviews, he doesn't want to talk about recruiting. He doesn't want to talk about himself. He wants to talk about LJ. He wants to talk about Jonathan Slack. He wants to talk about these guys that give their all for him because they all look up to him. Dante Moore is the leader of that team and the leader of that program. On top of that, he's 16 years old. This kid is a 16-year-old junior, and he just turned 16, like literally in the spring. He's still very young for his grade. He could technically be a 2024 prospect. He doesn't even know how to drive yet. Sorry, Dante, but you don't know how to drive. And I mean, I think he's barely getting his learner's permit. Last time I saw him, he was running late to driving school because he's still a child. And he is an elite talent. I mean, give Dante Moore his respect. What else does he need to do? Is it because he's not from LA? Is it because he doesn't have the Manning last name? What is the reasoning behind Dante Moore not being listed in that top group with Manning and Nelson? There is no reason. I mean, who cares if he's from the Midwest? He plays at a really good program. He's done everything you've asked him to do from a camp perspective. He checks all the boxes from a physical and an ability standpoint, and again, an intangible standpoint. Give Dante Moore his respect. 5 stars, should be in the conversation for the #1 quarterback in the country. No question.